are the necessary players in the right place for this negotiated solution anymore, given the moves of the United States?
Thank you. Just a quick clarification. I'm the European Director of the Alliance for Middle East Peace, but that actually goes a little way toward answering the question, because all of the key constituent elements necessary for a negotiated agreement are out of alignment right now. The Prince is arriving in Israel and Palestine, I think, at one of the most troubling moments most of us can remember for Israeli-Palestinian diplomacy. But that gives an opportunity, because there's grassroots peace builders that he is engaging with. That's really encouraging to see. He's seen the Perez Center for Peace, all MEP members today, with young Jewish and Arab children playing football. Tomorrow he'll see Palestinian refugees and meet with the Palestinian president. And that's precisely what the international community needs to be doing right now, particularly depoliticized figures such as the Prince, to go and support the most positive actors in this region, because they need both resources and attention. And they're starved of both right now. And the Prince can provide some well-needed publicity for people who are trying to transform the status quo.
And we had an academic on earlier who said that the royal family should very much not be getting involved in this, accusing effectively this visit of legitimizing Israel's use of force and the deaths of over 100 people during the recent Gaza protest. But you very much see it as a positive that William can bring something to the table here?
Look, I mean, I'm for engagement. I think when there's problems to be solved in the world, the thing you need to do is roll up your sleeves and go in and try and make a difference. And to be fair to the palace, this visit was arranged before the events in Gaza unfolded. And I think as well, you need to remember, he's not just visiting Israel. I know the news is focused on that today. It will also be the first ever visit from a British monarch to the West Bank, to the occupied territories, to give much needed support to the Palestinians there. And I think it's sort of slightly disingenuous to only look at one side of that. I do slightly feel for the Prince, because he's not a politician. He's not there to convey British policy. He isn't able to make any recommendations. He's there to listen, to learn, and to engage with grassroots. And as I said, there's too little of that. There's lots of shuttle diplomacy with heads of state in different countries and foreign ministers flying in and out. And that's important. It needs to continue. But I think also you need to have that humanizing factor. Israel and Palestine are built up of millions of ordinary citizens who are served by an incredibly unjust reality. And I've noticed from the pictures today, and I think I'm going to notice more from tomorrow in the West Bank, that a British audience that maybe isn't used to seeing that, doesn't necessarily tune into Middle East news, may have an opportunity to see the issues and also see some of the important people trying to make a difference.
What do you think the reception in the occupied territories will be for Prince William, given, of course, not only is this the first official visit by a member of the royal family, but given Britain's historic role there in British Mandate Palestine and indeed in the creation of Israel?
I think there could be some difficulties. I mean, obviously, last year we had the centenary of the Balfour Declaration, which Palestinians see as being an unjust act of British imperialism, to be frank, and which Israelis obviously celebrate as being part of how their state was founded. Prince William's whole family have a rich history, and the British state has a rich history in the Middle East. Some of it's very controversial, some of it's negative, some of it's positive, but I think at least the Prince's visit allows it to be addressed. It's slightly strange that we haven't had sort of a head of state or a monarchical visit to a country or to a region with such clear and profound connection to the royal family in Britain for 71 years. And whilst the occupation and the conflict continues, so this can't be an opportunity to close those issues, it does allow a healthy debate. I do remember in 2011 when the Queen visited Ireland for the first time ever since the foundation of the Irish state, it actually allowed conversations to take place that hadn't otherwise. And so whilst I imagine there may be some protests, there may be some angry words, I think the vast majority of people will be hopefully wanting to convey their own frustration with the current status quo, and hopefully looking forward rather than backwards, because there's enough in British policy, American policy, European, Israeli and Palestinian policy going back a very long time that people can critique. But Israelis and Palestinians both have in common is a future where they're going to have to share this land in some sort of way. And I think that's what people need to focus upon, and what perhaps the Prince, as a depoliticized figure, can in broad brushstrokes try and convey.
Okay. John Lyndon, thanks for your time. Appreciate your thoughts.
Thank you.